Hey guys, my name's Ben Howard. We're back out here to finish out a Goliath Discs only round at Holston Creek. If you haven't seen the front nine, please go check that out. But just to kind of give you a quick run through, basically what I'm doing is I'm doing a giveaway on both videos. I just need y'all to go down to the comments, tell me what disc from Goliath you would like to try, and I'm going to pick one person from each video and send that to them in a week. But if I'm able to beat my personal best out here, which is 3 over, I'm going to pick an additional person per video per stroke that I beat my best out here. So if I shoot even par, that'll be what, 4 people per video, so 8 people in total. Only problem is that I'm 9 over right now. So it's not impossible. There's a lot of birdie holes on the back nine, but it's going to be tough. Luckily, we're starting on hole 10, which is probably the easiest hole in the course. It's par 3, 290 feet, just dead straight ahead, going slightly downhill, so plays even shorter than that. So I'm going to take the Genesis and just throw it straight at the basket and try and put it under the basket. Dang. Just a little early. I think I'm still inside of like circle 2 right there. So should have a putt. Get there. Ooh, wow. I thought I didn't put enough power on it, but then it like kind of pushed late. That was weird. All right, guys, so for hole 11, we got a par 5, 625 feet. Basically just going dead straight for 450 feet. Then it dog legs right to the basket, which is out in the open field. Really all I'm trying to do is just throw something just dead straight as far as I can up the hill. Then from there, I've got like a gap where I've got to throw like a pushing forehand that's going to fade around the corner and get me into a spot where I can get a pretty easy pitch up and down to get a birdie. But the hardest part about this hole is going to be the tee shot, just because I don't know if you can really tell on camera, but it does go slightly uphill the whole way. So you got to be really precise on your height on this throw. Going with a White Enoch. Don't need to throw this very hard. Don't need a ton of distance off the tee, but got to be in the middle of the fairway if I want to get a birdie. Kick out. Oh, okay. Somehow I got through that tree. I don't know if that came out too much anheuser or what, but I don't know. See what we got from there. Okay, so we're not in a terrible spot, but I'm not going to be able to get up and down for a birdie from here because I've got to get through that gap basically to really have a chance at getting the birdie. But I'll go with the Gyra, just try and get up there at least close to the gap, but just up there in the middle of the fairway so I can just get up and down for a 5. Just like that. All right, so I actually do have a chance to get up and down for the birdie from here, but it's going to require a pretty touchy skip shot, basically. I'm going to go with the Rapture, just try and throw it right at this tree right here, see if I can just kind of get the fade off of it, get down to a good skip angle, and just give me a nice big skip to the right. If I can do that, I can probably at least get like a circle's edge look, but just want to get up there as close as I can, at least make the par easy. Like it. Okay, that branch slowed it down a little bit, but I think I'm gonna have a putt. Probably gonna be close to like edge of circle 2, but still putt. Oh, what? How did I go in front of the mailbox but behind the basket? All right, guys, we're on hole 12. This one's a par 3, 315 feet. Basket's up this way, tucked way off to the right. So basically, I'm gonna have to throw the same forehand I tried to throw in the last hole with the Rapture. Just trying to get it to push straight up to about basically pin high, and then I just need to fade hard right and get like a big skip to get down there to the basket. tiny bit of anhyzer out of the hand. Okay, it's down there in the middle of the fairway. I'm gonna have like a 100-foot approach shot maybe, but would have liked to get the birdie on this one. Ooh, a little short, but we can make that. All right, so we still have a chance because hole 17 is eagleable, but I'm gonna have to go perfect through the last 6 holes. Do it. So wish me luck. All right, guys. So we're on hole 13. This one's a par 3, 365 feet. Basket's up this way, tucked way off to the left. So basically, I gotta throw the mirrored shot of the last hole. So backhand, rapture, try to get a skip up to the left. Only real difference is the basket's on like the top of a hill, so getting up to the basket is gonna be really difficult, but I should be able to get to like circle's edge pretty easily. That feels really good. Now just get a big skip. Okay. Yeah, we're gonna have a putt. Now I just gotta make it. Ah, dang it, left. I gotta get myself closer if I'm gonna make these birdie putts. All right, guys, we're on hole 14. This one's a par 4, 458 feet. Basically just dead straight ahead. Biggest thing to pay attention to, all tall grass is out of bounds. And with it playing uphill, it plays closer to probably like 550, maybe not quite that far, but I'm just gonna go rapture hyzer off the tee, just try and throw it out of the tall grass, let it fade back in. Nothing too crazy, just gotta make sure that it lands soft. It's a little bit wider than I meant for it to be, but I think it's good. Whew. Yep. A little too close for comfort, but we're good. I don't know why, but I always forget to mention that this basket's on top of a big old mound. So really got to put this approach shot close. I'm going to try and do the same thing I did off the tee, just with the redemption. Put it out to the right, let the overstability of the disc carry it back. Hopefully put it close. Oh yeah, perfect. Yeah. All right, guys, we're on hole 15. This one's a par 4, 588 feet. Basket's basically just dead straight ahead, tucked in the wood line you can see in front of us. Biggest thing to pay attention to, all tall grass is out of bounds. So big off the team, really just trying to get past these two like fence things you can see straight in front of us, land in the middle of the fairway, and then have like, I think it's like a 200 to 250 foot approach shot, depending on where you land. I'm gonna go with the Glow Oasis slingshot, just because I feel like I can get a little bit more distance out of it than I can the Rapture, and it's gonna give me that same like overstable finish that I can kind of rely on. So, see how it goes. Ooh, got the turn out of that one. As long as that's past the bunker, that'll be really good. Yeah, perfect. All right, so this should be the easy part of the hole. Biggest thing to pay attention to though is there is OB. It's probably like 20 feet past the basket, so got to be touchy on this approach shot. But just gonna give the Genesis a little bit hyzer out of the hand, out to the right, and just get scooped back towards the basket. Oh, kick left. Oh, thank goodness. Okay, we're good. Ooh, I tried. Let's go. All right, guys, so we're on hole 16. This one's a par 4, 495 feet. Basically, as you can kind of tell, the fairway just kind of slowly bends off to the left once you get like 150 feet off the tee. So really you can go with like a low, overstable like driver right at this tree straight in front of us, just trying to get the fade off of it. Or you can go over that tree with like a distance driver, but pretty much all you're trying to do is just get past that tree while still fading left without fading left too hard. So if you watch my last video out here, you'll know that the main thing that I was talking about in the outro is that I wasn't being very confident in my disc choices. So for today's video, what I've been doing is I'm just going with the first disc that comes to mind when I step up to the tee. Problem is for this hole, the shot that came to mind first was taking the purple slingshot, trying to throw it over the top of that tree on some hyzer, see if I can get it to pop up to flat, fade out. I don't mind the shot, but I've never tried it before. So we'll give it a shot. It's been working for me so far, but we'll see what happens. I don't hate it. Okay, I heard it hits. I sound like I didn't throw it far enough, so it sounds like it's going to be in the left rough up there. So I don't know. We'll see what we got from there. It sounded like it just hit a branch, so it might be okay. Okay, so luckily I was able to find it. I guess I hit these branches right here and it just kind of kicked me backwards. But I don't know if I'm going to try something stupid. I just don't want to play Army golf here, but I'm going to go with the ambush forehand, just see if I can get just turn over for a while, make this to where I can get an easy par. Nah. All right, so we're not too far away from the basket, but obviously I'm not going to be able to get a lot of distance out of this position. But let's see what we can do. I'm going to try the chain breaker. I haven't thrown it all around, surprisingly. Let's see what we can do with it. There we go. That's like a 80-footer maybe. Oh, man. All right, guys, we're on hole 17. This one's a par 5, 658 feet. Basically, we're going straight for about 300, 350 feet. Then the fairway slowly bends off to the left. Once again, all tall grass is out of bounds. So just got to be careful on this one. But this hole is eagleable. And so what I'm going to do, since I wasn't able to beat my personal best out here, so if I'm able to get the eagle, I'm going to do what I said I was going to do if I was able to beat my personal best by 1 stroke. So I'll be giving out 1 extra disc this video and the front 9. So y'all wish me luck. In order to get the eagle, I'm going to have to go out to the right with the Glow Oasis slingshot. Don't really need it to turn too much. Mostly just need to push straight and then just fade out for me. The landing zone for the eagle is not very big. It's a little bit tighter than the fairway you can see in front of us and probably 45, 50 foot long. So it's going to be a tough shot, but if we can get that, if we can get it up there, getting the eagle is going to be pretty easy. Okay, now sit down. I like it a lot, but we're just going to have to get up there and see if it went out of bounds. Okay, so good news, we're in bounds. Bad news is I'm not near far enough to where I can comfortably get up and down for eagle. I'm probably just going to go with the same shot I've been throwing with the purple slingshot. Or, well, I'm going to go with the white slingshot because it's probably going to be easier to see on camera. But just going to give it a bunch of hyzer, give it a lot of height, just try and get the flip, not all the way up, but just flip and then coast back to the left. If I do this right, we can get up there. So, let's see. Oh, get through the tree. Dang it. I had to hug that tree in order to get it around the corner, be up there, so I'm not too surprised I threw it at that tree, but dang it. I wanted to do it. All right, so going Rapture, see if we can get up and down, save a par. Okay, we're inside of the ring that marks like maybe 40 feet around the basket, maybe a little bit closer than that. So should have like a 25-foot putt maybe. There we go. Ooh, tried to pop out on me. All right, guys, we're on hole 18, final hole of the video. This one's par 3, 344 feet, just dead straight ahead. Still trying to decide what I want to do in this hole because it does play a little downhill, but I don't think it's enough for me to throw the Enoch here. But I feel like the slingshot's going to be too much. The Rapture might be a little too much. I'll go with the Rapture just because I feel like I can just throw it flat, hard, at like the cedar tree just to the right of the basket and just get the fade off of it. Because if I go long, that's fine. I'm not in the water. So we'll go with the red Rapture. It didn't feel great. Get across. Nope, we're short and out of bounds. Going chain breaker. Right at the basket. Oh yeah, perfect. All right, guys, to finish up around out here at Holston, just to kind of run through the disc real quick and kind of get my thoughts on them. When it comes to Genesis, I don't know if I've really ever found a better putter than this one. It's just so straight, so glidey. I can throw this thing almost as far as my mid ranges, and I mean, I'm throwing it fan grip where I'm throwing my mid ranges power grip, so this thing just has tons of glide, super fun, nice, just floaty putter. You can see out here, I'm throwing them soft and they're still just holding whatever line I put them on, not really fading too much. If you want one of these that's a little bit flippier, the baseline ones will have a little bit of flip to them out of the box, but ultimately just really nice, really straight putter. Couldn't recommend these more in premium or baseline. For the pillars, these things are really nice. They're a little bit more overstable than you would really want for like a zone type disc. These are going to kind of give you just that really hard dump, which is nice for a lot of shots, especially close approach shots. But for some of those like 250-foot like zone shots, this isn't really for me just because I can't really get them very far. But really nice. I love the hand feel on these. Just I can't recommend these anymore. If you're looking for like maybe like a step down from like a Zone OS or something like that, or you want like a usable Zone OS, I would recommend these. For the gyros, I sadly I didn't get to throw these as much as I would have liked. I think the times I did throw them though, you could see what these can do. They're just really nice and neutral. Kind of remind me of the Genesis a little bit, but in a mid-range form where they're going to just hold whatever line you put them on. Doesn't really matter the speed you throw them on, whatever. They're just going to go straight and as far as they can. And like premium baseline really doesn't matter. There's pretty much the same stability because this one's pretty beat up and it still flies the same as it did when I first got it. So for the redemption, this is turning into one of my favorite discs from Goliath just because of how neutral they are, even though they're overstable. This red one, you could see I was throwing it softer a lot of times, but like on hole 3, I was able to throw it hard uphill and it still just kind of held the line I put it on. So, and then this white one is just that perfect, like straight mid range that's going to give you that slight little bit of finish at the end. Think Buzz, MD3, whatever you can think of, just right in that perfect range. Then for the Enox, these are very interesting discs because as you could tell, there's a big difference between these two where the white one is actually kind of stable. Like it's going to flip a little bit, but it's got a nice late finish to it. Whereas this one is basically a roller disc for me. So it's nice to be able to have two discs that have the same hand feel but do different things in that vein. But I need to get back. I need to get another orange one of these because they're right in the middle between these two. It has like the early flight of this one, but it won't fade back as hard. So if I was going to recommend any of them, I would recommend the orange Enoch. But the blue one's also really nice just as like a super flippy roller disc. And these white OT ones are really nice if you're just looking for just a small step up from the orange ones. And for the chain breaker, I wish I got to throw this a little bit more. I should have tried it on some like thumber lines or tomahawk lines, stuff like I was throwing the ambush for, because this is a really nice disc for stuff like that. And just like you could see on my approach shot on 18, it's just a nice like, oh, I'm like 200 feet from the basket. Okay, I'll throw this flat, hard, give it height, and just let it stick right next to the basket. There's a little bit of overlap between this and the pillars, but the thing I really like about this one is just I can get really nice skip shots out of it, especially like I'm just trying to get around a corner. I can hit it hard. I'm like this much hyzer. It'll get down to like this angle and like just ride around whatever corner I need. So couldn't recommend these anymore if you're just looking for just a stupidly overstable 9-speed. Then for the Raptor, I felt like in this video I threw this the best I've thrown it a long time, at least until 18, sadly. But 18 actually kind of shows you one of the things that I kind of like about them. And like they will, if you hit them hard and hit them, for me, if I hit them hard, hit them flat, they're going to give me a nice push and give me a gentle fade. But if I hit them softer or don't hit them as well, they're going to give me a harsh fade. So it's nice to be able to have a disc that I can kind of control and get different flights out of without trying too hard, really. But it's also kind of a detriment, I would say, at least for me, just because if I'm not hitting it hard, if I'm not throwing well, I'm probably not going to be pulling it out, which ultimately it's a 12-speed. I shouldn't be throwing it if I'm not throwing well. So couldn't recommend these anymore. If you're just looking for that like step down from a destroyer, just something you can hit hard, doesn't want to turn, but will give you a nice straight flight and a late finish. And then for the ambush, this thing's just fun. Like you could see anytime I was going out to like getting rough or anything, I wasn't grabbing the pillars, I wasn't grabbing the Genesis, I was grabbing this because I knew I could throw some fun shots with it. And like, even though it's insanely flippy, if you learn just the right power and the right angles to put this on, you can make this thing do a lot of stuff. And like, as long as I'm not like hitting it super hard on the back end, I'm not really getting it to roll accidentally very often, just because obviously it's a 12-speed and it definitely has like that 12-speed stability. But if you're just looking for like something stupidly understable, or if you want like, this is a really good beginner distance driver, like first distance driver, where you're going to get a lot of turn out of this that you would not get out of any other distance driver on the market, even like unless you go for like a super lightweight stuff. But that's the nice thing about this is max weight and it flips like that for me. So just like a really nice get out of jail free card. Couldn't recommend these anymore. And then finally we've got the Slingshot, which the Slingshot might be my new favorite disc from Goliath, just because of how fun this thing is. This thing bombs too. So much glide, so much just carry out of these. It's just so much fun to throw. And you've got these white ones that are like your understable distance bomber disc, where it's just going to turn and just hold that angle for a long time. And if you give it the right amount of height, it will fade out and give you that like extra like 50, 100 feet of distance out of these. But these are just like these bomber discs. Then these purple ones, just a little bit more stable than these. And something I like about these is like on hole 16, where I was able to throw it super high on hyzer and it still flipped up to flat. It didn't turn, but it was able to flip, even though I'm throwing it nose up, which is something I really like out of a distance driver. It's not something I get very often, so that's really nice. And then this glow one, so good. I love this thing so much. It's like right between the Raptors and these other Slingshots, where I can get this to turn, but it's going to give me that nice fade. But you can see on hole 15, these things bomb. So, but if you're looking for just like that bomber disc and you're not quite getting good distances out of like more stable stuff like destroyers, wraiths, stuff like that, and you just want to try and find something in the same ramp, like same space as like a crank, stuff like that, I can't recommend these anymore. All right, guys, that's everything from Goliath. But like I said at the beginning, if you want to go down to the comments, tell me what disc from Goliath you want to try. I'm going to pick one of y'all in a week from today. I'll put the time up here. At that time, I'm going to pick one of y'all, and I'm going to try and send you out one of these discs. But like I said in the first video, the only thing that's off limits is the Glow OT stuff, because that's not available right now. But anything else y'all want to try, just put it down in the comments. And if you don't want to wait a week and you want to try some stuff from them, you go down to the description. I've got the link to their store. And if you use my code, BenHoward10, that'll get you 10% off your order. So thank y'all so much for watching. Please like, subscribe, and y'all have a good one.